After a while, you get this way where you just feel like you're meant to be this way. Life hasn't changed for a while, and it's just normal for you. Then you get a call, and it changes everything. When I was born, I was fine for 9 months straight. And then at 9 months, I had kidney failure. I've gotten used to it. It's a way of life for me, and not many people understand that. And once you get to that point where nothing changes, it's the same over and over again, and it's just daily routine for you, you start to think that's how you're meant to be, how life is supposed to be. And part of you just gives up. I then had my kidneys taken out in 2000 because there was no point in having them anymore. I went on dialysis. I had to change my whole lifestyle. As I'm getting all these things for my health, that's not the only thing that was going on. I was having home things too. My parents were getting a divorce, and this was around the time I got sent up to Pennsylvania. At that time, I thought I was going because of my health, and later on I found out it was because my parents were splitting up.
Growing up with Aubrie obviously was a challenge, and for the most part demanded a lot of our attention. So I think time management was the thing I struggled with the most. After my second marriage, basically, I became very selfish. And I thought, you know, I have struggled with this. We've been in and out of the hospital since 9 months of age. You know, it's my time. And with that attitude brought a lot of heartache, a couple of failed marriages, failure in business, and consequently, Aubrie suffered. I had a open heart surgery back in 2004. I had a valve replaced in my heart, and this is, I had just recently married my third wife, and we were getting heavy into the real estate business. And then in 2010, I had an aortic aneurysm.
My blood tests were sent to the United Kingdom. They were sent to pretty much around the world. Doctors from everywhere were trying to figure out what I had and what was killing my kidneys so rapidly when there were no physical signs of it, except for kidney failure. I eventually got on a kidney transplant list, and 4 years later, I get my first transplant. In 2009, they failed again. They shut down, and there was no point for it. Nothing was wrong. The doctors eventually figured out what I had, which was atypical hemolytic uremic syndrome, and basically that was housed in the liver. So what they figured was, you get rid of the liver, you get rid of the disease. And by doing so, I was put on dialysis again because of kidney failure, and I went another 5 years without being able to do anything because I had dialysis, and I had to go to a hospital 3 times a week just to get my treatments. My dad didn't pay attention to me much because of thinking I was still a kid, or because of his wife, and that went on for quite a while. And it wasn't until they got separated that I could finally feel like I could connect to my dad without consequence, without feeling like I'm gonna get yelled at for it. I could be honest for the first time in my life to me.
My third marriage failed. I was having this surgery. Our business had failed. And I went basically from a 4,000 square foot home to a bedroom at my sister and brother-in-law's. I didn't realize how much my daughter needed me. How she needed me.
And then you get a call, and that one call changes everything. For me, it was my call to get my new liver and kidney transplant.
At 7:23 p.m. on December 12, 2013, I received a call from my mission coordinator at Angel Flight Southeast. Their question to me was simple. Brad, do you want to help us save a life tonight? It's a wow phone call to get. Somebody asked you if you want to, what are you doing right now? Do you want to help us save somebody's life? Of course the answer is yes. They have a patient who's critically in need of a double organ transplant, and a match has just become available down in Miami. Angel Flight tells me I'm going to Miami International. Keep driving, file my flight plan, get everything set with the FAA, let everybody know where we're going, what we're doing. There's Fritz and Aubrie come running through that airport door. Never met them in my life. I have no idea who these people are. All that I know is I have the tools in my arsenal to help them connect to the medical care that they need.
It's scary, but all I had to think of was, God did not let me go through all of this just so that this one thing can tear me down.
Show up at the airport, plane's there, ready to rock and roll. It's fueled, everything's perfect. I looked at the weather was perfect. Everything was just meant to be.
The whole transplant process and after the transplant just left me kind of, I don't know the proper word, maybe schooled, by the Lord. I was able to go through the whole process in Miami pretty much alone. I had a cell phone, I was able to talk to people, I had family that was reaching out to me, but it just seemed like God wanted me to Himself during this time. The one thing that it's taught me going through that is I don't really get frustrated anymore about anything. Little things that used to bother me don't bother me. Ever since my heart surgery and Aubrey's transplant, pretty much nothing bothers me. Every day's a bonus for me and for Aubrie. It's frustrating sometimes, I should say, because his timetable is not always ours. And just when you think that it's not going to happen, it happens suddenly. And when God decides it's go time, it's go time.
I've learned in my life that God loves you, no matter who you are, where you are, or when you are. Even when you feel like He's not there, He is. And He's waiting for the perfect time to show up.